Hello, 7th graders. Your new video is going to be on area of a triangle, which really is not that much different from what we did yesterday with the area of parallelograms. And I'll explain why in a minute here. First of all, there's two terms that go with this section, and they're pretty straightforward. The base of a triangle, it can be any side of a triangle, except if you have a right triangle, that would be a triangle that has a 90-degree angle in it. If you have a right triangle, the longest side can't be the base. And I'm not going to get too in depth with that right now. We'll cover it when we do the right triangle formulas, the Pythagorean theorem. We'll work with that later. The height of a triangle, it's just like the parallelograms where it has to be straight up and down. You can't use the slanted sides for the height of a triangle. Depending what kind of problem it is, you might have to actually sketch in a straight line to find the height if it's all slanted. But again, we'll deal with that when it happens. So the area that you're gonna, or the formula that you're gonna have to use for area of a triangle is 1/2 of the base times the height. So basically you just take base times height and divide it by 2. And here's why this works. So yesterday we did parallelograms, which we talked about. Parallelograms could be rectangles, squares, or the actual parallelograms. But if you look at this, and if you cut it diagonally, what does it make? It makes a triangle here and a triangle here, right? So it would make sense then that since the area of a parallelogram was just base times height, right? That if you can cut this in two and it makes 2 triangles, so to find the area of one triangle, you'd take 1/2 of the base times the height. That would make sense, right? If you look at this picture. So here's an example. If I want to find the area of a triangle, and let me put a triangle on here quick. Okay, so let's say that this is my triangle, and it looks a little bit weird, right? It's like, wow, what's the height of that thing? But if we look at it, I'm going to plug some numbers in here. So let's say this is 36. Oh, the second longest side is 26.8, and the shortest side is 19. Okay, and then I'm going to have to find the height. So when you look at this, you're going to be like, whoa, what is actually the height of this thing? If you turn it around so that you can make a straight line up and down, this 36 would be your base, right? Because then I would go to the top of the triangle to make my height. So if you think about it, flip it in your mind and make this the bottom, and then this is the height. And we're going to say that's 12. So if I, again, remember I said every formula needs to be written down for every single problem. So 1/2 base times height, the half is part of the problem. We're just going to plug that in there. And I just said the base is going to be this one, because that's the only way I can get to the tip of the triangle here, straight up and down. So I'm going to go 36. My height is right here. So 36 times 12. This 1/2 you can get rid of in a couple different ways. I could do the 1/2 right away. I could take 1/2 of 36 and then multiply that times 12, or I could do the 36 times 12 and then divide it by 2. It just depends which way you want to do it. It doesn't really matter which way. It's just that if you take care of it first, you need to make sure that this number right here, it's something that can be divided by 2. I'm just going to go ahead and leave the half till the end. So I'm going to take, I don't know what's going on here with my pen. Okay, so if I multiply 36 times 12 here, $432. So then to finish this 1/2, all I should have to do then is divide this by 2, because 1/2 of 32 means I'm dividing it by 2. So I'm running out of room here. So 432 divided by 2, 216. And again, it has to be labeled with the little 2. So 216 square meters. Remember I said everything, any kind of area or surface area has to be labeled with this little 2 because it's two-dimensional. Then I want to look at one more type of problem, one that you're going to have to use what you know about the formula for area of a triangle. You kind of got to go backwards to do this one. Remember what I said at the beginning of this video about a right triangle. This is a right triangle because it has a right angle right here in this corner. It has a 90-degree angle. So this one, I don't know what this side is, but I need that side, right? Remember I said you can't use the longest side for the height? This is the longest side, plus it's slanted, so I can't use that side for the base or the height. This is my base, this is my height, because it's straight up and down. So on this one, they don't give me the height, but they do give me the area. So let's look at how we use that. Again, start by writing the formula down. So we're going to have area is 54, and then I'm going to, the 1/2 is part of the formula, it has to be there. The base is 12, and I don't know what the height is, but I can find it if I just finish the formula. So 1/2 of 12 is 6. So then 6 times h. So then to get this h by itself, I need to divide by 6, and that should give me my height. So then 54 divided by 9 is 6, so 9 centimeters equals my height. And I do not label it with a 2 because I'm not looking for area, I'm just looking for one dimension on that one. So that's a little different, but you still use the same formula to be able to figure it out. You plug in what you know, and then solve for the variable that you don't know. So bring that knowledge with you, or we will talk about it more tomorrow. Have a good night.